Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to take a look at all of the new Steam PC game releases this week. Pretty loaded week as far as new games go. You've really got something for everyone this week. You've got a major PlayStation game. You've got a major action-adventure game. You've got another lower-key hack-and-slash action title that I think deserves a little bit more attention around it. You've got a pretty interesting free game release as well that I definitely want to get into in a little bit. But yeah, a lot to go over, so let's just get right into it, and let's start things off with Tecmo Koei and Electronic Arts' Wild Hearts. This is a game that has a little bit of buzz around it. Obviously, it's clear to see that a lot of people are comparing the game to Monster Hunter, and you can see why. It definitely has that big boss fight and, looting type of gameplay, and that loop seems to be there for sure. Now, I do want to note that the game is going to be $70. However, if you do want to play it, you can sign up to EA Play and you can enjoy the game for 10 hours and you'll get 10 hours of content that way. That is, of course, the Play First trial, so you can check that out. Again, the game looks like a big budget action-adventure RPG. Looks to have some wild boss fights. Like, looking at some of these boss fights, seems to be that it's really, really well done, and it is done by Omega Force, the studio that brought you the Dynasty Warriors game. Hoping this one turns out well. I know $70 games are inherently gonna push some people away, but we'll see how this one turns out. Wild Hearts is dropping on February 16th. Next up, we have the Housemarque and PlayStation release in Returnal. Now, obviously, the PlayStation releases on PC, we can go back to the price point over and over again. Returnal is going to be a $60 game, which I do know that's probably going to push some people away, given that this game came out literally 2 years ago. I believe it was early 2021 when this game initially dropped, but Returnal is a game that I really think, for some reason, I think this game is going to vibe more with the PC audience than it is the console audience. I just don't know how much of an engaging game Returnal would be to your average console player. Whereas I feel like on PC, these more challenging roguelikes and a game that is as technically impressive as Returnal looks to be on PC. Obviously, the game looked really good on PlayStation 5, but I think it's going to be taken to another level on PC. I foresee the game doing fairly well on PC. I just think this is the type of game that's going to resonate really strongly with the PC audience. I might be wrong about that, but we'll see come February 15th when the game does drop. I played Returnal on PS5. I enjoyed it. I understand why some people didn't get into it as much. I literally had friends be like, yo, this game is going to make me break my controller. But they have made a lot of quality of life improvements with the game as well. And if you're not eager to drop $60 on the game, I still say that this is a game that you should have on your wish list. It'll eventually probably be 50% off by the end of the year, and at that price point, I think it'll be a really good buy. But if it looks like the type of game, like if you like more challenging action-adventure roguelikes, this might be one you just pick up right out the gate, and you're gonna get a healthy and sizable amount of content with it right out the gate. So we'll see how it turns out. If you do pre-purchase the game, you do get some early access in-game items. That's nothing, too crazy, but I foresee that this is going to be a really, really good PC version. Just like generally, PlayStation, I feel like more often than not has done a killer job with their PC releases. After Horizon was a little mid, you look at Days Gone, you look at God of War, you look at Spider-Man, those have all been rather good. And with Returnal, you've got, once again, a plethora of different system requirements that have been outlined as well. And that's obviously something that I like to see. And they've just been, generally speaking, doing a good job with their PC releases. Returnal might not be the biggest game as far as their PC releases go, but for some reason, I foresee this game doing even better than, like, Uncharted. Uncharted, we did have that gimmick where it was Uncharted 4 and not the Nathan Drake trilogy, but, they're putting games like Sackboy on PC, and I foresee Returnal doing much better than Sackboy. So we'll see how it turns out. The game is dropping on February 15th. Next up, coming from Soleil and 110 Industries, we have Wanted Dead. This is a game that I feel like should have a little bit more attention around it. It's an over-the-top action title. Wanted Dead is a new hybrid slasher shooter from the makers of Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive. The game follows a week in the life of the zombie unit, an elite Hong Kong police squad on a mission to uncover a major corporate conspiracy. Again, looks to be a super over-the-top action shooter, hack-and-slash melee combat, third-person shooter battle indoors and outdoors using a curated selection of projectile weapons, brutal finishers, over 50 unique finishing moves, cyberpunk, a crazy mix of advanced weaponry and low-tech 90s retro futurism, gripping storyline. The zombie unit uncovers a major corporate conspiracy in a dystopian version of Hong Kong. Truly hardcore experience, beat 'em up the old-school way, and a love letter to the sixth generation of consoles as well. Wanted Dead will be released on February 14th. Next up, we have a brand new free-to-play release. Now, this one is pretty interesting. Operation Harsh Doorstop. This just came on my radar recently, and the Steam description for this game already is probably going to interest a lot of people when you read it. It notes, I got sick of games with loot boxes and predatory monetization with no single-player missions or mod support, so our community started making this game instead. A shooter sandbox with all the features a game should have. Oh, and we're funding it on Patreon and giving it away for free. Now, this is a game that already has a demo, and there's a lot of information that's in the FAQ with the early access because it is hitting early access. They do note our ultimate objective is to create a game that has all the same standard features you would expect from a typical multiplayer sandbox shooter, vehicles, a variety of game modes, a mission editor, and hopefully more. Currently, the game is at our first major milestone, a fully fleshed out first-person shooter with a focus on infantry gameplay. The game currently includes single-player missions, cooperative game modes, multiplayer servers, mod support, and most other features you'd expect from a standalone first-person shooter. As time goes on, we intend to continue expanding on these features. Look, it's a totally free game release that's been funded with the help of Patreon. System requirements aren't all too crazy as well. At least have this on your radar. It's a totally free game, and yeah, they're dropping it on February the 15th. So interesting to see how this one is going to turn out. Operation Harsh Doorstop will be released on February 15th. Next up, we have Elderand. Only the strong will conquer this gruesome action platformer with RPG elements. This is a game with very much a throwback visual style, something right up my alley. Dismember demonic creatures and terrifying bosses by wielding brutal weapons in intense skill-based combat. Slay or be slain as you collect glory and treasure in this nightmarish 2D world. Looks to be a more challenging action RPG, and it's got some great effects, visual effects during the combat as well. Super stylish action platformer. We'll see how it turns out when Eldoran does drop on February 16th. And lastly, we have Hellcard. Hellcard is a game that just had a prologue release. It's a unique cooperative deck builder roguelike game. Descend into the paper dungeons on your own, recruit computer-controlled companions, or join other players' lobbies in fast-paced tactical card battles against the armies of darkness and the archdemon himself. The game does have a online co-op focus, so if you do want to play the game with a couple friends, that'll be an option as well. Sports co-op battles with up to 3 heroes facing the archdemon's horde. In single player, you can descend into the dungeon solo or recruit AI-controlled companions. In multiplayer, your friends or strangers can help you in battle against the hordes. Hellcard is dropping on February 16th, and that's gonna do it for me. Again, I think a pretty loaded week of new PC games. When you're looking at Wild Hearts, Returnal, and Wanted Dead as 3 more notable games. You got a free game in Operation Harsh Doorstop. Eldoran looks pretty good, and Hellcard is another game if you are a fan of the card-based battlers. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.